Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to this post-ride stretch. So this is going to be perfect for anyone that's into cycling, whether that's indoor on the Peloton or on Zwift, or outdoor real life cycling, mountain biking, road biking, all of the bikes, all of the bikey things. If you are feeling particularly tight in the quads, I would say definitely grab yourself a strap or something of this description that you can use. Otherwise, we're going to start in a kneeling position. We're going to get straight into it. So if this is uncomfortable for you, please sit some other way if it's feeling quite injurious. Otherwise, you can pop a blanket underneath your ankles just to really support yourself there. But this is a nice one to kind of passively stretch out through the quads in quite a gentle way. So if you can sit like this, I encourage you to. We're going to start here and just rest our hands onto our thighs. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Chin is parallel with the floor, and take a moment just to close the eyes. Take a long breath in, send it down towards the base of the spine. And as you exhale, allow your shoulders to drop, your jaw to soften. Wonderful. Just give yourself a moment to notice how you feel now. And we shall also check in at the end of this session too. So when you're ready, blinking your eyes open, take a nice big breath in, reach your hands up, see if you can lift out of your waistline, interlace your fingers, and then bring them to the back of the head. Good. From here, you're going to relax the weight of the head into the hands, elbows drop to the side, so you feel that lovely opening across the chest, so undoing kind of the forward hunching that we might do over our bike here. And see if you can really relax your head so the neck muscles can get a release too. Good. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, bring one hand down and point that opposite elbow up so you feel that lovely lateral stretch down through the side body. If you'd like to take this further, you can rock off of your heels. So your feet are kind of near your hand here, and you feel that stretch down the side of the waist as well, and even maybe the side of the hip. Also gives your toes a little bit of a relief after being in that kneeling position. Good. Inhale, come up through center, come back onto your feet. Opposite hand down, elbow up. See if you can keep your head kind of lightly pressing back so you feel that opening through the chest still. And then option to rock off the feet. Feeling that stretch transfer into the side, lower back, and even the side of the hip. Wonderful. Inhale, come up through center. Let's release the hands down, and then let's come to an all fours position. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Let's stretch out through our calves. So releasing the right leg back behind you, pushing through that heel. If you're feeling particularly sensitive through the hands or the wrists, or you just want to press a little bit more, you can come onto your forearms and really press back through that heel. Good. So if you keep this leg really straight, so really push the back of the knee up towards the ceiling, you get a little bit more through the calf and the Achilles. Very nice. Good. And then bringing that knee in, opposite side, extending the left leg back. Maybe using the forearms, maybe not. I want you to direct your breath all the way down to that heel. So it's finding that mind-muscle connection, just like you would if you were maybe really going for it on your bike and you were going for a PB or something. You'd really focus on your breath, go into certain muscle groups that you want the energy and the power to come from. Same thing here. You want to send that breath down towards the heel, down towards the calf, so you can release tension there. Good, and then bringing that knee back in. Wonderful. Walk your knees ever so slightly back. We're going to come down to our tummy. So opening up through the chest. So hands are underneath the shoulders, elbows hug inward. So think no chicken wings coming out to the side. You really want to tuck them in. Back of the neck is long. We're going to use our upper back muscles here. So squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. So I want you to think about engaging through the back. Inhale, lift. So we're not straightening out our arms just yet. We're using those upper back muscles. Lower. Good. Couple more in your own time. Inhale, lift. Pressing into the hands slightly, but really engaging in between the shoulder blades. Exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to come into a more passive stretch. So you're going to bring your elbows right underneath the shoulders. So we're in this kind of sphinx position. Slightly dragging your hands back. Feel that opening and broadening through the collarbones. For some of us, we hold this, and this is a good place to be. Maybe some of us take our hands out a little bit wider and begin to straighten the arms. I want you to really relax through your glutes here. So you feel your glutes kind of clinging on for dear life. Maybe just bend the elbows or come back to the forearms. Relax through the feet. And feel that lovely opening through the front side. And it is a compression of the lower back here. So it can be really therapeutic to bend the spine the opposite way. So we're often forward folding over our bike. So this is a nice back bend to counterpose that. Wonderful. Take a nice big breath. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly come on down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Bring your big toes together. And then we're going to push back to a child's pose. So your sitting bones are going to push back onto your heels. Have a little bit of a nestle in here. Forehead to the earth. Couple of really big, deep breaths. Let your head drop down. Let it touch the floor. And just notice where your breath shows up. Good. Inhale. Let's come forwards to all fours. Tuck the toes, and then we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So lifting the sitting bones back and up. If you're feeling particularly tight in the back of the legs, keep your knees a little bent and just have a little pedal through and kind of assess the situation with the hamstrings. So maybe it's a little drop of one heel to the other, almost like you're pedaling it out. Very nice. Very, very good. As you inhale next, you're going to reach your right leg up towards the sky, finding your balance here. As you exhale, you're going to step that right foot on the outside of your right hand, like so. If you need a hand to get it there, you totally can. It's all good. Drop your back knee, untuck that toe. And then you're going to sink your left hip forwards and down. So you're really opening up through that hip flexor, making a little more space. And this is a back bend too. So yeah, just be mindful. If it feels too much, you can always come up a little higher. You can always bend a little less into that knee. So you do you. Otherwise, sinking that hip down. Wonderful. We're going to come into a quad stretch here. So you're going to bring your right hand up towards the sky and then bend into your back knee, like so. Now, for some of us, we can grab for the foot with our right hand and we're getting that quad stretch, gently pulling the heel towards the glute. But if that isn't available for us, if we're like, I can't reach my foot at all, this is where you want to use your strap as a little lasso around your foot, like so. But I would just say, be really mindful. Often I see people really going for it and it's oh my God, you're going to hurt yourself. So give yourself enough length on the strap. And if you have got your foot, just ever so gentle pulls of the heel towards the glute. And see if you can rotate your chest open to the sky. So you feel a nice opening through that shoulder as well. So it's like a quad stretch and a shoulder opener at the same time. Also, if this is sore on your knee, I would say grab a blanket, pop it underneath, or just come more onto the lower part of your thigh. So you're not right on the point of your knee. You can see I'm right on my patella here almost. See if you can sink your hips forward so you're more onto the thigh, the more fleshy part that you have a bit more padding. And then check in that we're not kind of scrunching through the face. We're wincing. That's always a good gauge that we've maybe gone too far. Awesome. Take a nice big breath. As you exhale, release the foot, release that hand down, tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. We're going to step back to a downward facing dog. So you can come back for a plank if you want, otherwise stepping that right foot all the way back into downward facing dog. Have a little moment here, pedal through the feet, whatever you need. Good, and then as you inhale, left leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale to step it onto the outside of your left hand. However you need to get it there, you can heel toe it there. Drop the back knee, untuck the toe, and then sink in your right hip down. So if this is too much, you can always come up here. You can have a sofa, a coffee table, something you want to hold on to. But maybe we can sink it down. You might need to have a little bit of an adjustment. No one is like completely symmetrical, so you might find different sides need different treatment. Good, and then planting your right hand down, your left hand is going to reach up. Let's bend into the back knee, so lifting that foot, grabbing a hold of the foot or using the strap if you need. And then once you've got it, just feeling that stretch through the right quad, opening through the left shoulder as you rotate towards the ceiling. Finding that mind-muscle connection, so wherever you feel that tightness and tension, see if you can direct your breath there, breathing in deeply. Exhale to release around that space. Very, very good. Take a nice big breath in. As you exhale, release the foot or the strap, whatever you've got hold of. Hand comes back down. Tuck the back toes. Lift that back knee. Let's take it back to a downward facing dog. Have a little moment to reset, pushing through the heels. Lovely. In your downward facing dog, I want you to really twerk your hips up towards the sky. So the sitting bones are like pointing up towards the ceiling, grounding down through the heels. But don't worry if those heels aren't pressing into the floor. It's actually better that they're not, because it means you've always got a little bit of space to go and stretch. Good. From here, you're going to walk your hands back towards your feet and bend into your knees a lot. So this is not about the hamstrings. Relax your belly onto your thighs. Let your head go. Grab opposite elbows if that feels good, or maybe some of us would like to interlace our fingers. And just allow the fist to fall overhead. This is going to be a nice opener for the shoulders, opening out through the chest. So a nice generous bend in the knees. Just allow the neck to relax, the upper back. Squeezing the palms together if you've got your fingers interlaced. Maybe that's available for some of us. Good. And then releasing the fingertips down. Bend into the knees. Turn your toes to the outside edges of your mat, so your big toes are pointing out. And you're going to sit down into a deep yogi squat. So I shall demonstrate from the front. So your hands can be on the floor, hands at heart center, totally up to you. If your heels are hovering off the floor, it could be a multitude of reasons. I have a tutorial on this pose because there's a lot going on that you can have a little watch and kind of adjust and see what areas you might need to work on. But if your heels are hovering, you can always pop a block or a rolled up blanket underneath them for more support. Or if you can just bring your fingertips down and keep pressing through the heels to find that opening. Lovely. So this is a nice like external rotation of the hips, because often when all the time when we're cycling, we're in flexion and in extension. So we move forwards and back with the legs. So they don't ever like knees come out to the side. So it's a nice therapeutic way to like counterpose all the forwards and back that we do in cycling. Lovely. Let's bring our hands behind. Sit the bum down. Give your legs a little bit of a break here. Lengthen them out. Give them a little bit of a stretch out. Good. And then we're going to work into the glutes. So for this one, you're going to bring the right foot on the top of the right knee. Keep the foot flexed, so this knee is in a safe place. Now for some of us already, you might be like, oh, feeling it already, you're so welcome to stay here. Or you're going to bring your left foot flat onto the mat like so. Now, fingertips behind, you can be on your hands if you want. I just find it helps with like lift. If you're here, you're not really going to feel all that much. So I want you to like really lift out of your waist, find a nice straight spine, and you're going to feel it into the outer right hip glute. If you want a little bit more, you can begin to creep your sitting bones closer to the heel, like so. So this right knee is dropping forwards. And we're really getting into that right hip and right glute. But go to a place where you can comfortably hold and breathe freely. Relax the shoulders, relax the face, and just visualize your right knee dropping forward. So it might not physically move forwards, but just have that idea in mind as you release the muscles on that right side. And any of these poses that you feel particularly beneficial to you, please feel free to like note them down and hold them for longer, or make your own little post-workout stretch. I just find these ones for me are ones that I always do, and I find them really helpful. This one's quite nice as well to sit up against a wall or like your sofa or something. So if you find it a lot to like prop up yourself with your fingers or your hands, sit your back up against a wall, and you can like keep your spine nice and straight that way. Lovely. Nice big breath in. Exhale, you're going to slide that left foot away, lengthen that right leg out, give it a little shake. Let's do the opposite side. So your left foot is going to come over, foot is flexed, hands behind. Maybe that right foot comes flat, maybe we hold it here, maybe we experiment moving closer. If you come closer and you're still doing this, you're still not going to feel it, so prioritize length through the spine. And having that idea that the left knee is dropping forwards. And in these more still postures, it's a really nice time to like just notice if your body is still kind of working, if that makes sense. Is it still gripping or thinking that it's cycling? I know that sounds strange, but just notice what's going on in your hips. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe you're engaging somewhere that you didn't even realize that you were still engaging or working. With each inhale, send a breath to that space. And with each exhale, just allow tension and effort to wash away. And I promise you, these stretches are so amazing for cycling. Like, it will just help you with recovery so much. Like, I know it's tempting to like hop off your bike and just have dinner or get on with the rest of your day or whatever you do. But just carving out like 10 to 20 minutes after every ride, it's going to be really amazing for your recovery. And you're just going to feel a whole lot better as well. Lovely. Let's take one more breath. Exhale to release. Lengthen out those legs, give them a little shake. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees butterfly out to the sides. So if you can get your heels in quite close, great, but don't do it at the cost of your knees. So if you're feeling tense or strain, injurious sensations through the knees, just bring your feet a little bit further away, or you can always prop up with pillows or something that should help support your joints. Otherwise, feet in, hands wrap around the toes, sit up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, begin to lean forwards. Now, I know it's really tempting to like pull and like get those biceps working, but just take it like a lean, and you'll find your body is a lot more forgiving and a lot more kind of open, pardon the pun, to opening those hips. So yeah, you can like let your arms do whatever you want really, but just take it like a little lean. If you find that you struggle to come forward, you're maybe in this kind of rounding like this, I would recommend sitting on a block or a pillow, like elevate your hips, and that'll allow you to come forwards a little bit more. It'll give you more height and space in the lower back to come forwards. So just allow gravity to do the work here. Gravity is pulling the upper body forwards, knees dropping down. Have this idea that the inner thigh is like spiraling outwards and backwards to allow yourself to come down. Good. Take a nice big breath in. Long breath out. Good. And then slowly pushing yourself back up. Closing up the knees. We're going to come down onto our back. So come on down to the back. Hands over side of your hips, and then you're just going to lengthen your legs up to the sky. Don't worry if you can't get yourself in an L shape or whatever. Maybe you're here, maybe you're here. You just want to get your feet elevated over your heart, and we're going to take a little roll out of the ankles. Maybe a little fan out of the toes. Obviously, like when we're on our bike, our feet are like below our heart. So sometimes you can, I don't know, you might get like a swelling of the feet or the ankles as like the blood kind of pulls down to like the lower half of the body. So this is a really nice way to reverse that. It's really good for lowering blood pressure. And it gives your heart a real big help out actually, using gravity to get the blood back to our heart. This is a lovely one to do up against a wall. So if you're like by a wall, you can pop your feet up against the wall and just like allow yourself to hang out here. Really nice to support the lower back too. Lovely. Let's hug those knees into the heart. Take the arms out into a cactus shape. Breathe in. Exhale, allow the knees to drop to the right. Don't worry if they don't land like prettily or like how you think they're going to land. Just let them be wherever they are. Softening your left shoulder back. With each exhale, letting go of any need to try or like do the pose, and just let the pose happen. Good. As you inhale, bring the legs through center and letting them drop over to the opposite side. Again, using each exhale to relax into the shape. You can close your eyes if you want. Lovely. Inhale, knees through center. Give yourself a hug and slowly come up to seated. You can be kneeling, you can be cross-legged, totally up to you. Close your eyes. Let's just take a little pause before we get on with the rest of our day to notice how we feel post-stretch. Let's bring the hands together at heart center, bowing the head down towards yourself, and thank yourself for carving out this little bit of time to look after not just your physical health, but your mental health as well. Blinking the eyes open. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I really hope you enjoyed it. As I say, if there's any favorites, spend longer on them, make up your own little routines. This video is a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but hopefully you find it helpful. Also, if you know anyone that's into cycling, triathletes, anything like that, please do feel free to share with anyone that you think could benefit from it. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.